Good evening everyone and welcome to the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League on the PlayStation platform. I am one of two commentators for tonight, Malc. With me for the final race of the season is Mini Daniel. I'm going to call him Dan throughout the stream tonight. So how you doing, mate? You alright?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you doing?
I am doing very well, mate. I'm doing very, very well. I'm just hoping we're going to have an absolute classic tonight at the Singapore Grand Prix. So what's your before we go to the driver standings and the updates quickly, but what's your thoughts of Singapore in general?
Well, in my opinion, this track is quite flowing and it's quite nice to drive, but it's really hard to overtake and it's just a really difficult track. You can just really damage your front wing easily on this track. But it's quite flowing and hopefully the drivers will have fun for the final race of the season.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it should be a classic because with all the drivers itself, this, as I said earlier on, this is the final race of this epic season on the PlayStation platform for round 12 at the Singapore Grand Prix. So we've had some great races for everyone to watch, but also F1 has been done last night with Gareth and Sab did the final of the commentary stuff, but it's just been an absolute blast that they've done for the F1 scenario. But furthermore, we're going to go straight to the driver standings and then talk about, we haven't got the track info, we do apologise, but we'll give you a bit of info as we can see. So Rimpa, as we know, has been on absolute unbelievable form because he's been on 6 podiums in a row, and that win last week has been sealed as the drivers' champion from the Spanish Grand Prix, and he did a brilliant job as well. And then you got Speed Queen and John Blyton still battling out for second place. That's the big question of it all. Who will try and get that runners-up or third place? That's the big question. We've got a battle for 5th and 6th between Mr. Steen and Stefan, but also could be on for 4th place depending on how Humberstone does in that Singapore track. But a bit of an info from the stats. Obviously, one notable record is Humberstone needs 1 point, just at least 1 point to equal Nick LJ Thompson's PlayStation F2 points record of 331. That is a massive achievement from him. If he can try and emulate by getting 1 more point or 2 points, we'll definitely seal it. Nightshades had the podium last week, so watch out for him. Could be on for the double. And also Jack Hickey, who's also on for a hat-trick of podiums, so he has been impressive since he came on at round 10. But let's go to the constructors. The constructors are absolutely heated up because obviously there's a 17-point gap. I believe 17 points. Yeah, 17 points to be fair. So those are, without doubt, going to be an absolute belter between the Alpha Towers and the Red Bulls. So we'll give you a bit of an update at the end of the race, and hopefully we'll find out who's going to try and win the constructors. It's going to be a close call, but it all depends on how it goes. And you got McLaren in with 100 points, and you got the battle for 4th with Ferrari and Williams for 77, 75 respectively, and also Racing Point and Mercedes for 68, 67 points. That is the ones that we're going to be talking about in a moment or two. But we're not going to wait any longer. We're going to go straight to the session itself. But from your perspective, Dan, obviously from last week, there were some great performances from Rimpa and also from Jack Hickey and Nightshades. Do you think they could emulate again in Singapore? Do you think there'll be a few shocks with this track? We do apologise for any technical difficulties. Hopefully Dan will be back. I'll say that again. We do apologise, Dan. As I was saying, I was just mentioning about last week at the Spanish Grand Prix we had three podiums of with Rimpa, Jack Hickey and also Nightshade. So as I said, do you think they will emulate what they did last week, or do you think there'll be a shock with different people on the podium tonight?
Well, there's a possible rain. The humidity in Singapore is quite high, so there might be some unexpected.
We do apologise. I'm not sure what's happening with. Yeah, we do apologise. I'm hoping Mini Daniel will try and return back. I think he just has issues with his headset. But
Yeah, as I said, the humidity is quite high in Singapore, so there is quite a big chance of rain in Singapore. And Singapore, well, is the track itself is quite difficult, but with rain it would be even more difficult. And just, well, I wouldn't like to drive it myself, but Jack Hickey, he had 2 Grand Prix, didn't he?
he had two second places.
Spain was his second Grand Prix.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so that's really strong performances from him, and he might be a championship contender next season. And let's not forget, last race he could have won that race, but he spun on turn 2, and that just but he still came back for a podium.
Absolutely, absolutely, and you are right. Obviously, it did say from the interviews last week that his slight mistake has cost him the win at the Spanish Grand Prix. But hopefully he'll try, and there he is, Jack Hickey in the Renault car. Hopefully he'll try and start it off with a hat-trick of podiums. Can the Red Bull team of Speed Queen and Nightshades battling out with obviously the AlphaTauris to win the constructors? It's going to be a mammoth task because obviously Rimper is the one to watch, obviously, Dan. But do you think can anyone try and stop him now? Can anyone try and stop him?
Well, we still have Speed Queen and obviously his own teammate Jack Hickey, who could have won that race, but as I said, he just spun it. But it's definitely going to be close, and especially if there is going to be some rain, we might get a really great Grand Prix.
Absolutely, and we've not mentioned. Good point there, Dan. We've not mentioned about the weather itself because Singapore is one of those tracks where obviously the walls is going to be absolutely, really difficult for some parts of the track. But as long as these guys can emulate a good battle in the race tonight, it is going to be one hell of a race tonight. But obviously with the rain is going to be absolutely torrentious, and it could make it also difficult for all these drivers. But also it's going to be fun for everyone that's watching the stream tonight for the Invictus Racing League, on the PlayStation platform. Not only we're live and exclusive for you guys tonight, we also got the Xbox on, I believe it's on the YouTube channel. Correct me if I'm wrong. So check them out as well on the YouTube channel on the Invictus Racing League, which is on here now. And also to check out on all the other rest of the races of this week with Wednesday nights for PC and the PlayStation platforms. The PC League for F1 and F2. And also you got the PlayStation platform of F3 and F4, and also don't forget, for the final time of asking for this season, is the Performance Leagues from the Xbox and also the PlayStation platform. So but yeah, from your perspective, Dan, have you driven around Singapore like in a qualifying scenario? Do you think there'll be, what time would you expect as a prediction? What time would you expect with the qualifying to be at Singapore?
A minute 35, around that, maybe, if I remember correctly, but I'm not too sure.
Okay. So is that you're going to be your guess for tonight? 1 minute 35 tonight? Is that you're going to be your guess?
Yes, I'll take 1 minute 35.
Okay. So Dan's going to go for the 1 minute 35. I'm going to go for, I reckon, a high 35s but low 36. So low 36, I would say. But then again, someone might prove me wrong tonight. But we also got a few drivers in the racing tonight, as obviously we got also Nigel Gash, I believe, Living Wall, and also Simon Palmer. It's good to see him back in the racing itself. So look, would like to see how he would try and emulate in at the Singapore Grand Prix. So we'll watch out for him as well. So we're just going to try and see who will try and emulate the bestest start for the pole position itself. So we're just waiting for some confirmation of the. So we're just waiting for some of the update from the weather crew. Hopefully, it looks like at the moment it's going to be a dry race as it stands, but it'll be good to see what tyre wear they're going to go for. And it looks like I can see Keiran's coming out. So he's fitted on with the soft tyres. So he's fitting on with the soft tyres at the moment. But I mean, Keiran's had some good races. Don't get me wrong. He's had some good races and had some unlucky races. But overall, we're watching to see how he can try and emulate at the Singapore Grand Prix. So obviously we've got Keiran and Mr. Steen out on track. But Dan, I mean, I know you've joined last week in the Spanish Grand Prix, and with the F2 leagues that close, do you think we're going to have another close qualifying again, or do you think there'll be a bit of a split, shall we say?
Well, I think there's going to be no doubt it's going to be really close, and well, it's just going to be really interesting to see who's going to get that pole position. Obviously, pole is really needed on this track, as the run to turn one is quite short, and well, it's really difficult to overtake on this track.
It is difficult to get over passing like with the overtake itself, but you have to play it strategic and try and be absolutely spot on with whatever you do on track. But it's just a pure, with all the abilities that we've got at the F2 League tonight on the PlayStation platform, it's going to be absolutely intense stuff. Hopefully we'll get some more info from the weather crew itself, but just yeah, we'll just try and see what happens. But from what I've been told, I don't know if this is 100% true, but I've been told there's going to be rain towards the end of the race. We'll get that confirmed again, just to be 100% sure. But we've been told that there's going to be rain at the end of the race. So if it is true, would you be in that situation now, Dan, with the track for racing tonight?
Well, rain is just going to make it really difficult just to keep it out of the walls and everything with the rain, and the slippery track is just... Well, we already seen it. Yeah, that's Mr. Steen who spun it. I think, yeah, out of the... And he's disqualified.
You are right, he has disqualified. It looks like it's been told that he's been blocked the pit lane, so I don't know what happened from his perspective, but still watching Keiran going through the second sector. And this is the part where you go past the old bridge section and then down the straight for the DRS on this part of the track. And now coming up to the end of the second sector. Now it's in a 1 minute 3.042 at the moment in the second sector. But let's see if you can try and get a great time in the third sector. For me personally, I quite like this Singapore track. It's challenging, but also you have to be absolutely spot on and be cautious wherever you go on the track itself. And looks like Keiran coming to the last few corners now, and he will try and do a 1 minute 35.1. A 1 minute 35.1. That is the pole position time from Keiran. Who are you watching so far, Dan?
Well, I was just watching Keiran, who was the first man to set a lap down, and he's quite close to my prediction, I must say.
Yeah, that's proved me wrong, to be fair, with the times itself. But Hobblestone has invalidated his lap, and he would have done a 34.6. A 1 minute 34.6, and that is impressive stuff. And I'll tell you what, Ryan has just done what Hobblestone would have done with a 1:34.6 on the soft tyres. That's a great time from Ryan, to be fair. Let's have a look at Rempa. Rempa is going to try and do his lap now, but The drivers' champion of this season has been absolutely outstanding. But coming up to in this last race, well, say in his last race. This is the last race of the F2 League itself. But I want to see if Rimpa can try and go carry on as the drivers' champion with a bang and try and get his 7th podium in a row, shall we say? And he's got invalidated lap, so he will not improve his time. But Dan, who are you watching so far?
Well, Hukhtar, who's on medium tires, trying to set good competitive time, and well, medium tires would really help out the strategy. But you just hit the wall. But with the weather, with the prediction of rain at the end of the race, I don't know what could be the best bet. But maybe maybe medium to hards. It depends how quickly the rain just comes.
Yeah, I think the way it looks is like we might start off in the dries, and then it could be on for the wet conditions at the end of the race itself. But again, we'll get that definitely confirmed. We've got Nojgash to take a 137 flat, so hopefully he'll try and Livermore did a 135.1. Also nearly the times with the F2 League, so that's an impressive time from him. So Huntari, 135.6 on the medium tyre as well. That's really impressive from the Mercedes driver. That's a brilliant stuff from there. So let's have a look at Rimpa. He would have done a 344 if he did not invalidate his time. He's going to invalidate again. He's gained too far wide just after the first sector. Just after that, he's just absolutely fuming with that. And Speedqueen did a 34.4, so that's a really good time from Speedqueen, Dan.
Yeah, it's a really great lap, and it's just really far from our predictions. We just overestimated our drivers.
Yeah, well, definitely unexpected. Definitely under expected with the predictions itself. So they proved us all wrong completely. And yeah, so Speed Queen is on she's on a perfect lap with a 134.4. 34. Oh, so that was the 34.8, not a 34.6. I do apologise for earlier on. Just having a look at Aquilan. Yeah, Aquilan, who's on purple on the first sector. So let's see if it can try and improve. But with the times itself, would you have started off on the softs in this condition, or would you have gone for the mediums to start off with, Dan, in this scenario?
Well, on my first lap, I will try to go do a medium lap and see where I end up. And if the lap is just too bad, I'll just do a soft lap.
Okay, fair enough. Hopefully, it could be all depending on when the rain is going to kick in. That's the most crucial point of it all. But yeah, it's a very tricky one, Dan. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, and if the rain just comes like in the middle of the race, it can really benefit the medium runners. If the softs pit for hards and the rain comes just into when the medium box for hards, they can really just like they'll do like one stop, and the soft runners will have to do a 2-stop, which would really benefit them and gain them a lot of time.
Absolutely, and just hopefully it may depend on how they can try and do. But the tyre wear at this track, obviously, with the soft, medium, and hards. But with the softs, can only last about 9 laps fresh. So with the qualifying lap itself, it probably lose about 3 laps. So technically about 5 or 6. The 5th or the 6th lap. That's where I would expect the soft runners to get in, unless they feel confident enough to go a little bit longer. But again, it all depends on the setups and the way they can try and maintain their tyre wear as well. This is just the stats that the game is predicted. So again, these guys could prove me wrong by going a little bit longer than what we predicted as well. So obviously the mediums can last about 16 to 17 laps, and the hards can last about 28 laps. And Simon Palmer's did a 1:37.023 on the medium tyres, so that's a good time from him on the medium tyres, the Mercedes driver. Hubberstone's doing this lap, but yeah, Mr. Stim moves up to 5th with a 1:35.385. But yeah, Dan, who are you watching so far?
Well, I was watching Mr. Steen, who was just, well, he was on his end lap. He did a 1:35.3, which is quite a competitive time, but not a pole position competitive time.
Absolutely, absolutely. But hopefully he'll try and improve a little bit more. But then Kesler's moved up to 2nd place with a 1:34.6. To be fair, so that's a really good time from Kesler. This is absolutely crucial for the obviously for the Red Bull team and also the AlphaTauri. So they're the ones that we are going to be looking out for. And also check out Jumper Lion and Speed Queen. At the moment, if it was like this in the race, and that position, obviously Speed Queen would have guaranteed to finish 2nd. But again, I don't want to make a commentator's curse or anything like that at all. But I just hope we're going to have a good qualifying and also the race itself. But what's happened, Dan?
Well, it was a really great lap from Stefan Rans on medium tires, a 1:35 dead on the medium tires, and really great lap.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a fantastic lap, and that's 6/10 better off. 6/10 better off than Hotari's as well. That's really impressive. Living Walls did a 34.2, a 1:34.2. That's a great time, and also Ryan, who did a 1:34.203. So that's also an impressive time. So these guys are slowly coming in. With under 6 minutes left on the qualifying, can anyone try and stop Ryan with the perfect lap? To be fair, and I'm gonna have a look at Jack Hickey now. So let's see what he can try to do. Can he try and emulate his 3rd podium in a row? That's the big question of it all. But Dan, what's going to happen from your perspective? What do you think is going to happen with... Do you think we might go hit the 1:33s? Are we pushing it now?
Well, with the track ramping up and offering more grip, it's definitely possible. And Ryan, a great lap from him. Only 400 of a second in front of Lingwall, so it's really close indeed. And it's really interesting what kind of lap Rempa and Jack Hickey can set.
Absolutely, but they're on the medium tyres. Jack Hickey's on the medium tyres, so... But again, it just all depends on how these guys can capitalise. Oh, what's happened, Dan?
Well, Aquinlan, sorry for the pronunciation, but he was on this fast lap, I believe, and the Mercedes of... I think it was Simon Palmer who just ruined his lap and just didn't let him through fast enough and lost Aquinlan a lot of time.
So Aquinlan, hopefully we'll have enough time to do. Might have to go back into the lap unless he's going to go for it again. He's going to go for it again. Actually, he's still a 34.7. He's still a 1:34.7. But then again, would he have lost about 5/10 to catch up to the guys who are ahead? That's the big question of it all.
Well, with the dirty air, it's really possible.
Absolutely. And the moment, Ryan is in pole position in 1st. You've got Livingwall 2nd, Speed Queen 3rd, Keza 4th, Aquilin 5th, Jack Hickey 6th, Stefan 7th, Mr. Stim 8th, Hotari 9th, Luke Bailey 10th, Simon Palmer in 11th, Nigel Gash is in 12th place. Hubberstone, Nightshades, Jumper Lion, Rimpa are the only ones who have had no time at all in this qualifying. And we've got 3 minutes 25 left on the qualifying on the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League. And it's an absolute belter because we might have, from what I've been told, we might have the rain to near, well, at least the halfway marker as well. So that'll be looking forward to that as well. But yeah, with 3 minutes left, just have a look at the Speed Queen actually. Let's see if she can try. Oh, she's going back into the pit. there must have been something wrong. She's going back in. 134.4 at the moment. But yeah, who are you watching so far, Dan?
Rimpa, he's on his outlap and he gambled on a medium tire, so it's quite highly unlikely that he will not stay in pole position lap time, but it's going to really be interesting what kind of lap time he can set. And if he beats Jack Hickey on a medium tire run, but Jack Hickey just retired from the session.
Absolutely, Jack Hickey has retired. I don't think he'll try and improve. Mr. Stim has moved up to 7th place with 1 minute 34.9 on the softs. So we just brought Stefan dropped down to 8th. So if Rimpa can match Jack Hickey's time, or even better, that is the one to watch. Again on the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League on the PlayStation platform. Please, please, please make sure you subscribe to the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel and like this video. We are aiming for at least 10 likes, please guys. It would be a massive, massive help. So we got Rimpa trying to push on, coming up to turn 1 now, and into turn 2, 3. And it's a tricky part of the start of the lap itself, and you have to try and let the car flow into the DRS zone, which he is trying to do. The Drivers' Championship winner from this season. Let's see if he can try and improve his points tally. 26.3 on the medium tyres, so still doing a brilliant push on as well of the car itself. So, but yeah, Dan, who are you watching so far?
I'm still watching Rimpa, and he's on his lap. On the medium tires, and it's going to be really interesting what kind of lap time the champion can set.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting if you could, as I said earlier on, if you can try and aim to be closer to Jack Hickey, that would be impressive. And he has. He missed out on the battle. Well, Jack Hickey missed the battle with Rimpa last week in the Spanish Grand Prix. Hopefully, this will be amends. But it just all depends on how he can try and do at the 3rd sector. So he's going under the grandstand section as well at the Marina Bay at Singapore. Coming up to the last few corners now. Let's see what he can try and do. If he could try and aim 34s, he might do 34s actually. 34.7.
Wow. Great lap.
That is a really great lap from the Drivers' Champion. Brilliant stuff, absolutely brilliant. Living Wall. Let's have a look at Living Wall. Is he improved? He's a 10th quicker. Living Wall is a 10th quicker on the purple sector. So could be on for an F2 pole position time. That will be really, really impressive from his perspective. But let's see what we can try and do now. But yeah, with qualifying has stopped, guys. The qualifying has now stopped. So at the moment, Ryan is in pole position as things stand. But for how long? That's the big question. Just all depends on how Liverpool can try and improve. He was a 10th quicker. He's now 100th quicker on his 2nd sector. So if Liverpool can get into... Oh, he's invalidated his lap. He's invalidated his lap. I would have liked to see what time he would have done, but just trying to see if Kessler can try and improve his time. He's in 5th at the moment. 6/10. Yeah, 6/10. Oh no, 4/10. Sorry, I'm going ahead of myself. 4/10 off the leader of Ryan. Let's see what he can try and do. 134.4. He's improved by 2/10. He's improved by 2/10. Hubberstone. Stefan has got pole position. Dan, he's got pole position. What a lap there from the Ferrari driver.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely unbelievable stuff. Brilliant from Stefan, just at the nick of time by 200ths of a second to Ryan. But hopefully he'll have a great start on this the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League as well. So we're just waiting for Liverpool to and also Rimpa to retire unless just trying to see where he is. He's just going to the pits now. So Rimpa with that 34.7, and Jack Hickey are the only two drivers, Dan, who are on the medium tyres, and that's really impressive time, to be fair.
Yeah, and Rimpa with the lead medium tires, and it's going to be interesting how the strategies compare, and with the rain affected, it's going to be a banger of a race, most definitely.
Absolutely, absolutely, and looking at all these times, guys, to everyone that's watching the stream, and also to Dan as well, really close between from first place all the way to, I think it was 9th or 10th, and that was by 1 second, the difference from the top 10. That is mad. That is really, really mad. Oh, actually, it was 11th. I do apologise. I thought it was 9th. But here is a short qualifying classification for the Singapore Grand Prix for the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League on the PlayStation platform. You got Stefan, who's in first. You got Ryan, who's in second. Humberstone is in third. Living Wall is in fourth. Speed Queen fifth. Keza 6th. Rimpa 7th. Aqualan is in 8th. Jack Hickey 9th. Mr. Stim 10th. Luke is in 11th. Hodara is in 12th, Nigergash 13th, Nightshades 14th, John Lion 15th, Simon Palmer in 16th, and Mr. Steen is the only driver to have the DSQ during the qualifying tonight. So that's absolutely mad stuff tonight. And we should have a... So just waiting for the drivers to get themselves loaded up and ready to go. But for everyone's perspective, if you are watching the stream, if you just started watching the stream, you just missed out the qualifying. So Stefan has got pole position with a great time with a 1:34.185. That's a really impressive time from him. And also to watch out for is Ryan as well. And the two drivers to look out for on the medium tyres in the top 10 are Rimpa and also Jack Hickey. So those two drivers are going to try and go as long as possible to see if the rain is going to kick in. We've been told that the rain is going to kick in about probably just after halfway. So it might help with the medium runners. Definitely, it will definitely help. But again, the rain is so unpredictable. You just don't know whether we've been told. It could be at the halfway point. It could be lesser. It could be. Well, there's definitely going to be rain at the end of the race, from what we've been told anyway. But it's going to be interesting to know. So, for the final time asking of the season, what's your thoughts of your top 3 for tonight? What's your predictions before we start?
Well, it was a great lap from Stefan Rans, and hopefully he can finish a season on a high. But I would like to mention that Speed Queen. Well, she missed her fast lap. She was on the out lap and she missed to do a fast lap by 3 seconds. And it would be interesting to see what kind of lap time she could have made.
Absolutely, and yeah, hopefully she needs the points. She needs the points to try and finish off in second. But with Nightshades outside of the top 10, hopefully he'll try and get through the pack as quickly as possible to try and close the gap onto Mr. Stim, who's also on the Alpha Tauri. But with Rimpa as well, the Nightshades needs to have a good start, especially actually all the bottom half needs to have a good start to try and do well in the Singapore Grand Prix. But can I just say, obviously this is the final race of the season. I'd like to thank every staff, everyone that's associated with the Invictus Racing League, whether it been the driver, the commentator, everyone, all the staff have been absolutely amazing. I've obviously brilliant comms from Gareth and Sab for the F1 League this season, and they wrapped it up all last night, so that hopefully yeah, they've done brilliant this season, and yeah, let's see what happens from there. But then also you got the rest of the commentators who do an absolute stellar job, and everyone that's participated to help out. Thank you to everyone that's doing that. Tonight, absolutely. Well, not tonight. Sorry, throughout the rest of throughout the season at Invictus Racing League, the for all platforms of the PlayStation, the Xbox, and the PC League as well. And while we go into the formation lap, we will have check out the social media sites of Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as check out the InvictusRacingLeague.com for all the latest news and all the latest info related to Invictus Racing Leagues, and it'll be probably where everything is all being updated as well. So we're going to the formation lap now. Obviously, this is the part where you can't afford to make any silly mistakes and try and make contact with anyone on the drivers itself, because otherwise you're going to have no tyre wear. So you're going to have no tyre wear at all, because you're going to have cold tyres as well. So yeah, looking at the bottom half of the grid, so from 11th downwards, Mr. Steen's the only one who's gone on the mediums. The rest of the drivers have gone on the hard tyres. That's a really strategic move, considering that the rain's going to kick in near the end of the race.
Yeah, but Mr. Steen really went bold and went on a soft tire, so he thinks the rain will come out faster.
Okay, we'll see. We'll have to find out on this Invictus Racing League, the F2 League on the PlayStation platform. We're going to have 31 laps. 31 laps. The predicted pit stop strategy, as you can see, if it was going to be a dry race, would be from some people, could be for the soft mediums or soft hard. Well, you could do soft hards if you wanted to. You will be slowed down, but at least you can do the one stop to avoid another pit stop afterwards. But overall, it's just going to be a stellar of a job wherever happens tonight. So it should be a classic as well. So this is going to be interesting. Now, obviously, Hubberstone, as I said, if you've missed the stats of the stream, Hubberstone is 1 point away from equaling Nick LJ Thompson's record of the PlayStation platform on the F2 League with 331. So if Hubberstone can just finish in 9th or above, that would be amazing stuff. That's a brilliant achievement from Hubberstone, Dan.
Yeah, a brilliant achievement from Hubberstone, and hopefully he can make it happen, and it'll be a great thing for him, and something to end that season on a high.
Absolutely, and all the drivers are slowly coming into the starting grids. We're going to be on for the final round, the final race of the F2 League. Who will try and win the Singapore Grand Prix at the Marina Bay? Will be an absolute classic. I will guarantee it could be a classic. But we haven't mentioned about the safety car, so hopefully we'll get that mentioned about in the race itself. But here we go, guys. All cars are slowly coming in, and they're all set and ready to go. So we're just waiting for the lights to kick off. We've got 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red lights, and we are... Go! But Livingwall has got a jump start drive-through penalty, so he'll have to serve it. And we got a 3... No, there's been contact! There's been contact at the back. There's been contact. So it looks like Rimper went onto the inside, and also the court of Mr. Steve. I think it was Mr. Well, one of the drivers has just gone off track. It caused that. It might be Livingwall actually. Livingwall was got caught in it, and now we got Livingwall trying to go on the inside, and now Jack Hickey trying to keep in close contact. Livingwall will have to go into the pits for the drive-through. What's happened?
Well, Nightshade outbraked himself and just speared into, I think it was the McLaren of Jopalainen, but thankfully Jopalainen didn't spin out, but Nightshade's got some wing damage.
Oh no, so Nightshade is going to be... We'll have to go back into the pits, which is a shame, because I don't know, like, from his perspective, obviously I have to go to the pits because of the straight line speed. It's not going to help massively. But from his point of view, it's going to be... he'll have to go to the pits and try and fix that wing, but hopefully he'll try and get that sorted as quick as possible, and hopefully there'll be a safety car for his sake as well. But at the moment, Mr. Stim, sorry, trying to close the gap onto Hodari for 9th. But yeah, it's been a classic start, but Speed Queen is also getting close to Rimpa for 4th and 5th. Ryan's also got the pole position at the moment, well, the fastest lap at the moment, we have 1:42. So Living Walls going to the pits now to serve his drive-through penalty. But yeah, Dan, who are you watching so far?
Well, I'm watching Nightshade, who actually stayed out with the broken front wing, so it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Obviously, he obviously started on a hard tire, so he does not want to mess up the strategy.
Absolutely, does not want to mess about with the strategy itself. But then again, it's going to hamper him because he's already lost. He's already lost a few tenths. Well, probably about over a second now to Keza, who's in 13th place at the moment. But yeah, it's Keza also trying to close the gap onto Jumper Lion, who's in 12th place. But it's been an absolute start of a job from some of the drivers, and Ryan goes up ahead of Stefan in 1st place. So hopefully he'll try and get close to the gap. And now Keza could have a chance to try and close the gap. Jumper Lion will have to go on the left-hand side. Keza with those soft tyres to go too wide scenario. Brilliant move there from Keza to get ahead of Jumper Lion. So now he'll try and push on to close the gap. Mr. Stim trying to close the on Hodari now for 8th place, but also Speed Queen still battling out with Rimpa for 4th. But Dan, what's your thoughts of the start of the race itself?
Well, I must mention that Rimpa is in a brilliant position with the medium tires and in 4th place, and really the start worked out brilliantly for him.
Absolutely, and Nightshade does go into the pits after what happened with the wing itself. But let's go back to the to 3rd, 4th and 5th. Hubblestone trying to defend from Rimpa and also Speed Queen, who both got the DRS. But Rimpa on those medium tyres. The medium tyres is going to a little bit warming up in about the next few laps, but hopefully he'll try and keep it up with the soft runners to start off with as well. So if you like what you see so far, guys, please make sure to subscribe to the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel for all the live races itself. Not only we're live, guys, we also got the Xbox League as well for you tonight for the F1 League on, I believe, on the YouTube channel tonight. We've got Rimpa trying to close the gap onto Humberstone for 3rd. Still battling out. We've got this battle with Speed Queen for 3rd. We've got, well, Jackie Keys also might join in the party as well, so he's also the one to be looking forward to try and get into the podium again tonight. But fair play to some of the drivers who've had trying to avoid all the accidents. Well, I say accidents, there was like a few incidents, but Living Wall, unfortunately, who had caught the back end of Rimpa's car. And because of that, he had a drive-through, then he got caught in it, and then all of a sudden he's down to 16th place, the F3 driver. But here we go. Keza, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so he does not want that at all. So, Dan, who are you watching so far?
Well, Stefan Rans, he fell back a little to Ryan, and Ryan pulled out the gap out of DRS range, and Ryan will definitely be delighted that he jumped Stefan Rans in the start.
Absolutely, and look at Rimpa now. Rimpa made the move on Hubberstone, and he's now moved himself up to 3rd. So that's a good move from Rimpa. But now Jack Hickey is now closing the gap onto Speed Queen. With Speed Queen trying to close the gap onto Hubberstone. And it's been, don't get me wrong, Dan, it's been some great battles. I know you joined in late, but from all the perspectives that we have seen, it is absolutely insane stuff from all the drivers. All majority of them are not consistent, but as you can see, we got the from second to sixth place. That's battle for the second place itself. That's mad. We also got the battle for Mr. Stim and Luke Bailey for 9th and 10th, and also the battle between Keza and Nigagash for 11th and 12th respectively. So hopefully they'll try and push on as well. But Dan, who are you watching so far?
Well, I'm watching Speed Queen, who's getting quite close to Humberstone, and it's going to be interesting if Speed Queen is going to overtake Humberstone. But Humberstone is quite falling back right now, and he's going to be hoping to find some more pace.
Yeah, hopefully he'll try and get some. Hopefully she will try and get some pace to close the gap onto Humberstone for 4th place. But the DRS is not enough. But Speed Queen still not doing it enough. So Rimpa's now moved himself up to 2nd place. So he's got himself a great position to close the gap. And Speed Queen. Oh, I thought Speed Queen was going to make the move to get ahead of Humberstone, but now this is a chance for Jack Hickey to close the gap onto Speed Queen. But Jack Hickey just having a quick glance to say, look, I'm here, I'm going to pounce. If you don't make the move, I will make the move in the next few laps. But yeah, mad start at the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League on the PlayStation platform. So we got this battle. Speed Queen should be on for the DRS. Same with Humberstone. Not enough to get past. And yeah, it's still watching this battle. But Dan, I mean, what does Speed Queen have to do and to try and get ahead of Humberstone? Because Jack Hickey's just behind to try and overtake Speed Queen at the very earliest point.
Well, she needs to get the greatest exit from turn 5, and well, Speed Queen and Stefan Rans just went to the pit, so it's gonna be interesting where they end up.
Yeah, it'll be interesting when they end up on track. Speed Queen has gone for the medium tyres. Stefan's gone for the hard tyres. So looking at Jack Hickey now, trying to make the move. Humberstone's on the left-hand side. Plenty of space, plenty of move, plenty to do the overtake move. And that's a great move there from Jack Hickey. Now he's got a chance.
Stefan Rans just spun out of the pit exit, and I think he's got a broken front wing.
What happened?
Yeah, he does.
What happened, Dan?
Well, he went out of the pits and then just spun right into the wall at the exit out of the pits.
Oh, okay, so
just got a little trigger happy.
Yeah, so unfortunately for Stefan now, he's got broken front left from what we can see. So he's going to have to try and go back into the pits. Keza's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That's 2 lots of penalties he's had. Hopefully he'll try and bounce back quickly as possible. But the only closest battle we've got at the moment is Hudari and Aquilan for 5th place. But for the drivers that are already pitted, it's just now we're showing the scenarios of where we might see a few battles. It looks like Rimpa's made the move on Ryan, who's also in the pits. I was going to be excited then to see if Ryan was going to try and make the try and hold on, but obviously the soft tyres are now coming in, as I did predict. Well, I say I did predict like between lap 5 and 6 laps of the tyre wear, so 7 laps of the softs, and it looks like Ryan and also Humberstone have gambled to go on the medium tyres. Simon Palmer's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so hopefully he'll try and bounce back. It looks like Hodari's now made a move ahead of Aquilan with the DRS. That's a good move, just as he needed. I wonder if Aquilan is going to be kicking himself to try and not get into the pits when he need the most in that lap itself. But I'm guessing he'll try to get as much of that soft tyres as possible, but now it's just going to be mad scenes itself. Looks like Hubblestone with the fresh mediums closing in on Speed Queen. But yeah, Aqualand with 1 second. The tyre wear must be absolutely shot. Absolutely shot. But now Hubblestone could be on. Well, he's outside of the top 10. So he will get into the top 10 when obviously Aqualand goes to the pits, and also the hard drivers trying to go in. They're going to try and go as long as possible. Obviously, the laps can do like 28 or more, depending on the tyre wear itself. But as you can see, the gap is like, oh my god, looks like Hubblestone made a massive mistake just after the second sector with the on the DRS zone. And now Speed Queen closing the gap onto Mr. Steen, who's in 9th place at the moment. But yeah, Speed Queen has got herself into 9th place, so brilliant job there. Aqualand is finally going to the pits. So he'll drop himself down a few positions. But Dan, and Speed Queen got the fastest of the race with 139.120. So as you can see, the drivers are trying to keep that tyre wear as much as possible. Obviously with the tyres that are coming in already, but from your perspective, I mean, I will not be surprised if we see a few overtakes in the next few laps. Do you agree?
Yeah, and obviously with the medium runners catching up to the back markers.
Absolutely.
Of the ones.
Absolutely. Looks like Hubblestone's got himself ahead of Mr. Steen, so he's going to be on. And we've got Nightshades and Mr. Stim for 13th and 14th respectively. So this is the closest battle we've got so far in this race. It looks like Rimpa had a 3-second time penalty as well, so that's going to be damaging. Yeah, he's got a 3-second time penalty from that incident during that probably that lap itself. So we've got Mr. Stim trying at the DRS, trying to close the gap onto Nightshades, who's been really unlucky in this race, to be fair, and he's been really unlucky. And this is also the battle for obviously for the constructors, but I think as things stand at the moment, with the 17-point gap that we have seen, all Rimpa has to do is just get 10 points better off than the Red Bulls, and that would be enough. That would be enough to clinch. Well, let's say clinch it. Yeah, it would be clinching to get the constructors itself. So they've done an absolute stellar job. But then again, you don't have to watch out for Speed Queen. We'll have to look out for the times and also the standard itself. John Bellino's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. But yeah, I mean, there's been some great battles tonight, Dan. From what you've seen, I know there's been some incidents, but what's been your best battle so far at lap 9 of 31?
Well, before I say it, I would just like to highlight that Speed Queen got past Nitro Gas, and Nitro Gas, I think he made a mistake into turn 1, and Speed Queen capitalized on that mistake and got past Nitro Gas.
Absolutely.
Well, my favorite battle, well, Rimpa at the start, where he cut his way through the lead and was catching up to the leader who was on the soft tires, and really great overtakes from Rimpa at the start.
Absolutely, brilliant stuff from him as well. We've got a couple of drivers who have also changed positions. Yeah, so it looks like Nitro Gas has dropped himself down to 9th place now. So, but he's got Keza just behind, but hopefully Nitro Gas can try and push on massively to close the gap. I'm still watching to see if there's any other battles that we could see, but the only one that we could see that could be the battle that we might see in the race is Mr. Stim and Nightshades. But Mr. Stim, with 2 laps already of those medium tyres, should be, well, 3 laps now, but 3 laps fresher than Nightshade, so hopefully he'll try and capitalise on that. But with Ryan, who's also trying to close the gap onto Luke Bailey for 4th and 5th, still needs to improve. Still needs to improve on massively. And we've got Living Wall closing the gap onto Simon Palmer. So he might have another chance of an overtake from what we could see. But we might have to go back to Ryan in a Motor 2. So hopefully he'll bounce back as quickly as possible. And looks like Living Wall's just got ahead of Simon Palmer. Oh my god! There's been contact. The 2 drivers have had a contact. So Living Wall, 5-second penalty for severe collision. He went wide, lost the back end, and unfortunately for Simon Palmer, he has lost the front wing itself. So absolutely, you'll have to try and get back into the pits as quickly as possible. But yeah, we've got Aquilon trying to close the gap onto Keza for 10th place. But Dan, who are you watching so far?
Well, I'm just watching Living Wall just crawl into the pits with a broken front wing, but that's just really got in for Living Wall. He had a brilliant qualifying, and now it's just his race is getting from bad to worse.
Absolutely, the F3 Drivers' Champion, who did an absolute stellar of a job this season. Unfortunately, he's had a bad start in this F2 race tonight, and hopefully he'll try and he'll probably forget about Singapore as quickly as possible. But Aquilon's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. But yeah, at the moment, Rimpa, Jumper Lion, Keza, Aquilon, Simon Palmer and Living Wall, they've all got penalties, and it looks like Aquilon's trying to move around the outside. Oh, just outside of the track, but still enough for Keza to hold on the inside line. Keza trying to do everything he can to try and defend. Bit of contact between the 2 drivers, but at the moment, Keza holds on for 10th place. And now Speed Queen with the DRS overtaking Jumper Lion, who after the first few races, he looked like he could be on the former F1 driver. The former F1 driver. Same with Speed Queen. Jump Line, who's, looked like he was going to go on for a perfect start of the season and try and get the championship, but with Rimpa being absolutely unbelievable. That's impressive stuff from him. Absolutely unbelievable stuff from him. And looks like Jack Hickey is going to the pits. So now some of the drivers are now going ahead. But Dan, who are you watching so far still?
Well, I'm watching Jack Hickey, and that's quite a gamble, as we know there might be some rain at the end, and they might have to box for some wet tires. And if that is true, that's quite a gamble if he's boxing for another set of slicks.
It just all depends. Obviously, it all depends on when it's going to come. That's the big question. It just all depends on when it's going to come. Speed Queen try and push on massively away from Luke Bailey and John Lyon from 5th and 6th, and she's in 4th place at the moment. So on lap 12 of 31, we got Rimpa, who's in 1st place. We got Hatari's in 2nd, Ryan's in 3rd, Speed Queen 4th, Luke Bailey 5th, John Lyon 6th, Humberstone 7th, Jack Hickey 8th, Nigel Gash is in 9th, Aquilon is in 10th, Keza 11th, Nightshade 12th, Mr. Stim 13th, Mr. Steen 14th, Stefan 15th, Simon Palmer 16th, and Living Wall in 17th place. But yeah, it's been some great battles. It's been some overtakes, and we'll be looking forward to see what happens from his perspective as well. And we've got Living Wall trying to close the gap onto Simon Palmer in a moment or two. And that is, yeah, that I'm just trying to see where they are on track, but hopefully they'll try and push on massively. But oh, it looks like Jump Line gone way wide. But yeah, Dan, it's not a gamble. It's because the hard tires is going to take a bit of time to warm up, but then it will be better when it all decides to kick off when the rain does eventually be able to kick in. But Luke Bailey doing a stellar job trying to pull away from Jumper Lion. But Jumper Lion with the with the DRS, as well as Humberstone, who's also on the medium tyres and also catching up to these drivers as quickly as possible. Now, Humberstone is going to have a chance to make the move. Humberstone might have a chance actually. He's going to have a quick glance to try and make the move. No, still banning out, but this battle, it looks like Jumper Lion's gone a little bit wide. It might compromise a little bit. A bit of contact between Jumper Lion and Humberstone. I doubted there was any wing damage at all, but Jumper Lion with the hard tyres, he's going to lose this 6th place position. What a brilliant DRS move from Humberstone. Brilliant stuff, Dan.
I would like to mention that Speed Queen was making a brilliant recovery from boxing into the medium tires. She's already in P4 and just quite extraordinary how quickly she came back, and she's only she's just 14 seconds behind Rimpa.
Absolutely. Hopefully she'll try and close the gap onto the top. So yeah, it looks like Jumper Lion will lose another position. Jack Hickey is with the fresh tyres now be able to pull away. So Jumper Lion drops down a few positions based on lap 13. Unlucky for some. Now I'm just going to have a look at the battle between I'm trying to see if Livingwall can try and close the gap onto Simon Palmer, who's really been struggling with those hard tyres. Livingwall on those mediums, still putting on a good lap itself. Stefan making the move, while Mr. Steen is going to the pits. It looks like Livingwall is going to have to try and wait. I'm just trying to look to see. Yes, so Simon Palmer and Livingwall, unfortunately for the two drivers, they're going to have to get rid of. Might have to get out of the way because Speed Queen's just behind. So they've already been lapped, so they know about it. It looks like Livingwall nearly went to the wall itself, but hopefully we'll see some more action in the next few laps itself. Position changes at the moment. Huntari is the only one who had a massive, well, say with Jumper Lion, but Huntari's got 10 positions. Jumper Lion with 7 positions. Rimpa with 6 positions, the biggest movers on the track itself. It looks like Livingwall now challenging. I don't know if there was any contact between the two. Yes, there was contact. There was contact between Livingwall and Simon Palmer. So the two drivers. I wonder if I was going to say I was hoping that Livingwall was going to wait, but unfortunately for Simon Palmer, he must have caught the back end of Livingwall's car. So he's going to have to try, unless he's got front wing damage again. I'm just trying to have a quick look. But yeah, Dan, who are you watching so far?
Well, I'm just watching Brian, who's...
Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to say, sorry to interrupt. It looked like Humberstone was unfortunately got caught with one of the cars itself, so he was getting close, but then also got caught in it. So I do apologise, Dan. Who was you watching so far? Sorry.
It's okay, but I was watching Ryan that is really catching up to Huntari, and yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Huntari's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple runs. Still, they're trying to push on massively. I'm just trying to see if there's any. The penalties have been absolutely.
It's starting to rain.
Is it starting to rain? Is it starting to rain?
It is.
It is. So we are going to be aiming for. It's not wet enough just yet. Obviously, it's only just sprinkles of rain, dots of rain, shall we say? But here's a prediction. I know we're going to have rain at the end, but when do you think the intermediates is going to be the one forward for tonight? So I'll give you a pick. Give you a choose to pick.
Well, all depends on the crossover point and the how heavy the rain is going to fall. But I would say lap 21.
So you reckon lap 21 intermediates tyre conditions?
Yes.
Ooh, okay, so we'll wait and see if Dan is right at the moment. But at the moment, it might be good. Well, it will be good for the mediums and hards at this stage. But hopefully, we'll try and see if the drivers can try and push on. It looks like Simon Palmer's got a 5-second penalty for across the pit lane, exit white line. But Simon Palmer's already on the intermediate, so to be fair,
It's bold.
it is bold, but it's not. From watching it from Jack Hickey's car, it's not enough on track. It's definitely not enough on track. As you can see, he's lost. He's already lost a second already. So
Yeah, he's really understeering a lot.
absolutely. So he'll be fuming. But look at this. Look at this.
Oh.
Look. Oh, sorry about that. What did you say? Sorry, Dan.
No, it was just Simon Palmer almost just speared into the wall, just understeered into the wall. But yeah, it's too early for the intermediates.
Yeah, it's definitely too early. Looks like Rimpa is going to the pits. But can Ryan make the move? No. Hunter is still holding on in first. I'll be really interested to see what tyre they're going to go for.
Intermediates for.
Yeah.
That's. I think that's too early.
It might be too early, but it is starting to kick off a little bit though when you think about it. Oh my god! Sorry, Ryan and Hunter battling out too wide. Unbelievable stuff. Rimpa, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So looking at the times now, I'll be quite interested to see if Rimpa can catch the pack of the mediums. Just watching Ryan's tyre wear and looking at it from his car's perspective, the rain is now starting to kick in properly. So it might be that this is the way forward now to go on the intermediates. Yellow flag set to 1, retired from Simon Palmer, so he's out of the race. And we've got the first safety car.
That's unlucky for Rimpa. That is just gutted for him.
It is absolutely gutted because now he'll go into the pit. Well, he's already been to the pits, but majority of the drivers will now go into the pits, for which I would guess would be enough for the intermediates because the track is. There's no splashes that I could see from the back end, but the rain is still kicking in a bit further than ever before, especially at the last sector where we could see quite a few bits of the rain itself. And now Ryan is going to the pits now, which would be for the intermediate tyres. But who do you think's been the best decision maker and who's been the worst decision maker tonight, Dan?
Well, the people that start on the hards, it definitely helped them out. One stop from hards to intermediate, but people that started on softs and really came back into the race with the medium tires. Quite impressive.
Absolutely, quite impressive as well from the hard tyre drivers itself. Oh, looks like Ryan has just cut that the exit. So he'll have to try and be careful. Doesn't Andriy? Speed Queen, she's also in the top 3. Rimpa in 4th. Jack Hickey in 5th. You got Luke Bailey in 6th. Hubberstone is in 7th. Aquilan is in 8th. Jumpline is in 9th. Well, Nigergash will be in 10th. Nightshades is in 11th. Mr. Stim in 12th. Keza 13th. Stefan 14th. Mr. Steen 15th. And Living Wall in 16th place. But what from just looking at it from some of the drivers' perspective, this has been quite interesting because obviously Ryan could be on for another podium from his record, but then also you got Speed Queen trying battling out with the constructors. At the moment, it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. I might be wrong. I might be wrong, depending on how Night Shades can finally be able to close the gap on the next few laps. But that earlier part of the race itself from Night Shades, that has been the crucial point, and that's what's cost. I think that's what cost Night Shades definitely a top 6 finish tonight. But from now, the rain is getting a little bit heavier, so it's definitely intermediate tyres. But I know we're going to get the rain, as we said, but do you think we're going to hit the heavy rain or the heavy wets as well, the wet conditions, or do you think they'll be just still intermediates from your perspective?
Well, it's going to be really, really interesting to see, but the rain is really picking up now, and it's just really hard to say. But
yeah,
it's just over halfway point. So if there's three laps to go, and it's time for the heavy wet tires, you would think that majority of the people would just stay on the intermediates.
Absolutely, and yeah, but there's always a but. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah. I would like to mention that Huhtari gained 10 positions in this race, and the strategy really worked out for him brilliantly.
Absolutely, and hopefully he'll try and have a go at Ryan in the restart of the safety car. So just having a quick glance as what Dan says. So the biggest mover still with Ryan, with Huntari with 10 positions. The next biggest one is 6 positions with John Polion, and a few positions with 5 with Luke Bailey and Nitrogash. But the biggest loss is definitely Stefan Rands and also Living Wall, so they're in 13th and 16th respectively. But this is a great opportunity to try and close the gap for Mr. Stim and also Living Wall to try and catch up on these pack as well, and also Mr. Steen. I think by the time we get to the third sector, hopefully these guys can be able to restart the safety car restart. So these drivers try and warm up the tyres as much as possible. But the wet conditions, have you driven around much in the wets in Singapore, Dan? And what's your expectations for this tonight, for the rest of the race?
I raced in the rain in Singapore in my own league, well, in a different league, and it was really, really difficult. And it was like the intermediates felt good for only 2 laps, and then it just they felt really horrible, and just the tire wear really came in quick.
Absolutely, and it's just been it's a difficult skill, but at the same time it's more it's more the ability that these drivers can try and push on as well, and just waiting for the safety car to come in. But I don't believe if the safety car does come in, it might be a last minute call. Just watching. Yeah, so we might have another lap of the safety car. Yeah, so we go another lap of the safety car based on Ryan's car. We're going to do one more lap. Oh, I don't know what happened to Hubberstone. What's happened to Hubberstone? Hubberstone spun. Hubberstone has spun and he's dropped himself down to 13th. I wonder if he's had any wing damage. If he hasn't, he's been very lucky. He's been very, very lucky. Very, very lucky. So hopefully he'll try and bounce back. He needs to try and get his record sorted for the F2 on the PlayStation platform. Absolutely brilliant stuff from... yeah, what was you going to say, Dan?
Well, I think Eric's hit him.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that, Dan. I thought he was going to say something else with that. But from that perspective, you got Speed Queen Rimpa. At the moment, obviously, Speed Queen will guarantee to finish off in 2nd place in the driver's standings. So she's done an absolutely brilliant job tonight to get into 3rd at the moment in this race, Dan.
Yeah, brilliant performance on the medium tires, and the safety car really came in handy for her and the other drivers that managed to jump, like Rimpa, who came in early and really lost out with the safety car.
Yeah, he'll be absolutely lost it at the safety car part as well. So we look like we might have the restart. Well, the safety car will come in on this lap because all drivers are all bunched up together. So we'll just wait until we get past the second sector, which is just at the end of this row. Yeah, safety car is in this lap. Safety car is in this lap. So who will try to get the perfect start to Ryan needs to get a good start to push on massively, but if Huntari's he's gonna have to be careful because Ryan could shoot off at any point in this lap, and now Ryan is going to try and let the safety car give enough space to get himself back into the safety car back into the pits safely. Right, now here we go. We might have a Reese going to start. Ooh, is he trying to hold on? Ryan may go at the last few corners, and he does go for the last few corners. So he's going to shoot off, and he's still cannot get past. Still cannot get away from Huntari. And the rain is absolutely mad, absolutely mad. A yellow flag set to 1. I'm not sure exactly what, but Rimpa, I'm just looking at Rimpa's car. Rimpa's right hand side is definitely damaged, but still holding on. Still holding on for the battle between 3rd and 4th. So Rimpa trying to make the move. Speed Queen, she's trying to keep on the inside line. Still defending. But with Rimpa getting quicker on that damaged front wing, that's still impressive. But he will lose out massively. It looks like jump line now is up to 9th. Keiran drops down to 10th. So now we've got 10 laps remaining, guys. 10 laps remaining in this rainy second half of the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League. We had the dry first half, and then we just go into the rain in the second half, and it's really tipping it down. Really tipping it down. Hopefully we'll see some more battles, but especially when you're trying to get close to the slipstream and trying to not lose any time at all. You got Nice Shades moving up to 11th. Hubblestone's moved to 11th actually. We'll have a look at that battle. It looks like Hubbestone, and what a move actually between Mr. Night Shades and Mr. Stim. Night Shades and Mr. Stim are still banging out for 12th and 13th respectively. But I'm wondering if
Rimpa made a mistake.
Oh, was Rimpa made a mistake?
Jack is passed. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So go on, Dan.
He went wide into turn 18, and that let Jack Hickey pass.
So the rain is going to be an absolute terror. But thank you for giving us the update, Dan, on Rimpa. So looks like Aqualand has dropped down. Keza moves up to 8. Keza's now starting to push on to kick on from this race itself. So we've got this battle between Nitragash, who's doing actually a good race, actually, to be fair, from his perspective from the F3 driver, and also you got so just trying to see what happens from his perspective. I do apologise. But Dan, who are you watching so far?
Well, watching Speed Queen, and really just women. Well, now out of 1 second, but the DRS is closed in these conditions, and it's going to be really difficult to make a move in these conditions.
Absolutely, and it's just been absolutely torrential rain. It's just been mad, absolutely mad. We had the fastest up of the race from Mr. Stim in the dry tyres itself, but overall it's been One hell of a battle for this race tonight at the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League. And we got jump. Actually, Hubberstone still holding on for 11th. One more place to get that point of matching Nick LJ Thompson's 331 points on the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League. Let's see if we can try and emulate that to try and get past Jump Line, who's also trying to get close to the top 2 in the driver's standings, but then also he's been really struggling. Well, I say really struggling. He's moved up 5 positions, but overall this race he needs to try and get close to Speed Queen, but he's been really at the back of the in 10th place. But then anything can happen in the F1 racing itself, and now Hubberstone has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So we're still watching this epic battle. It's Nightshades, Mr. Steam and Nightshades having a good battle actually for 12th and 13th. Again, the Red Bull team are ahead of the AlphaTauris, but it won't be enough. It will not be enough. Yeah, it will not be enough. Speed Queen had to at least try and get a massive gap between herself and Rimpa to stand any chance for the constructors. But at this moment in time, looks like Mr. Steam trying to close the gap to Nightshades for 12th place. But Dan, are you still watching this battle, or are you watching something else? Okay, I do apologise for that. I thought he was still there, but unfortunately we've got some technical difficulties. But hopefully he will be back now. So who are you watching so far, Dan?
Yeah, I'm just saying that Mr. Steam is in the fight with Mr. Steam and Nightshade, but it's just really weird to see AlphaTauris and Red Bull battling, and obviously the sister team of the Red Bull team.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we'll try and see a few more ahead of the pack itself. But let's have a look at Keiran now, try and close the gap onto Nigel for 7th place. So Keiran trying to push on massively, and now he's trying to get that slipstream as much as possible. So Keiran doing everything he can to close the gap onto 7th, but as things stand, Ryan, who's not changed much on the positions, well, I say changed the positions, but he has been since this battle earlier on with Rimpa, and then also, like I said, Hunter and Speed Queen. Ryan's been absolutely outstanding tonight, Dan.
Yeah, brilliant performance from him. Well led, I mean, got pole position, and then got a little lucky with the safety car, obviously, but still in a lead, and that's just really great. And he would be looking to end the season on a big high.
Absolutely, absolutely. We've got Jackie closing the gap onto Speed Queen for 3rd. While this is going on, we've got Nigel Gash, Keiran, and Aquinland still battling out. Nigel Gash trying to hold on the Ryan side. Keiran, sorry, trying to close the gap as much as possible. But Aquinland is going to try and pounce as soon as possible if any of these drivers make any mistake at all. But so far, it's been an absolute stellar of a race. But as things stand at the moment, Huntari will drop down to 3rd. I believe. I think he will drop it down to 3rd because of that 3-second time penalty. Unless he's got 6. We'll have a look at that. Yeah, he's got 3-second time penalty. Keiran has got another 3 seconds, so that's 12 seconds already of his time. But we'll go for the leaderboard now. It looks like Nigel Gash has dropped down. He couldn't do anything about it. Keiran making a move now. So Nigel Gash putting on a stellar performance on the F2 race tonight. The F2 race tonight. We've got Aquilon still behind in 9th place. But as things stand, looking at this scenario, at the moment, it looks like Hunter will still hold on for third place because of that penalty. But then again, it will all depend if Jack Hickey can try and close the gap onto Speed Queen. That is the big question. That is the big question of it all. And you got Nitro Gas trying to defend as much as possible. But unless I'm mistaken, I mean, it's still intermediates. Either way, it's still intermediate conditions. But overall, I think the rain is getting even heavier than ever before. Do you agree, Dan?
Yeah, the rain is really picking up, and just seeing that the drivers not making any mistake is just incredible, and the conditions just look.
Yeah.
I just really would like to drive him myself.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you are interested in joining the league, there is, if you go to the InvictusRacingLeague.com and check out the apply to race form, one of the admins will get in contact with you. So on the InvictusRacingLeague.com, check out the apply to race, or check out any of the social media sites of Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And one of the admins will get in contact with you to get you to fill out the form itself to join in for next season of the Invictus Racing League in general, whether it's the PlayStation platform, the PC, or the Xbox League. That will be the best one of it all. This is getting close actually, because Huntari is like, oh, what happened, Dan?
Well, Jack Hickey just got really trigger happy and almost lost it at the exit of turn 5 and really drifted the car out of the exit.
Okay, so we'll watch this battle because this is quite interesting, because if Jack Hickey can get ahead of Speed Queen and get close, we've got yellow flag set to 1. We've got yellow flag set to 1 just for a brief moment. Akaland, Rimpa has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Humberstone is now in the points. He's now in the points, but he has got 8 seconds worth of penalties. So that's going to hamper whatever position that he's going to be in. Hopefully he'll try and close the gap and get ahead as quickly as possible. Now Jack Hickey right at the back of Speed Queen for third place. But still, it's not enough to hold on to getting to the top 3 for Jack Hickey, because Huntari is still trying to hold on for second place, which he has done with no one by him. Yellow flag set to 2-3. Rimpa's out!
Oh, Rimpa!
Rimpa's out! And he's crashed! He has crashed at the side safety car. We have got the safety car. So we've got the second safety car of the evening. That is really interesting now. And this will hamper a few of the drivers who have already got the penalties in this race, Dan. Do you agree?
Yeah, and yeah, like for example, Huntari, he might not fall out the podium positions, Huntari, and well, that is not a mistake Rimpa usually does, and that's not a season end he was looking to. That's not the way he looked to end this season.
Absolutely not, and hopefully he'll bounce. Well, hopefully he'll bounce back next season. Not the way that you want to try and get your 7th podium in a row. So his record of podiums have now been stopped. But Rimpa is now out of the F2 race at Singapore, which is absolutely treacherous rain, and 3 drivers are already in the pits. I'm wondering if it looks like it's just. Well, Mr. Stim is gambling on the wets. That is bold at the moment. But do you think, would you have gone for the wets in this scenario, or would you have like kept it with the intermediates like what everyone else has been doing?
It's really hard to say because we're not driving in these conditions. But I think I wouldn't pit and try to rather to defend, because it's really difficult to overtake on this track, and it's going to be really difficult to get back into position.
Absolutely, absolutely. But then again, you've got 5 laps remaining, guys. 5 laps at this torrentious rain at the Singapore track. And it's just absolutely mad. Absolutely mad. And all the drivers are just slowly coming in to get onto the safety car pack itself. But If you like what you've seen so far, guys, please make sure you like, subscribe to the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel. Not only we're live and exclusive on the PlayStation platform for the F2, we also got the Xbox League live exclusive for you guys on the F1. For the F1 League, but this time it is, I believe, it's on the PlayStation on the YouTube. So check out there as well. Also, check out all the other social media sites on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And also, the most important thing of all is check out the Invictus Racing League, InvictusRacingLeague.com, where you get all the latest info and all the latest updates and everything. And you could also join in for next season. If you contact with any of the social media sites or on the Apply to Race form on the site, check it out. And one of the admins will get in contact with you, and we will be able to, we'll be able to get back to you as soon as possible as well. So it's going to be interesting now for the next 4 laps. Yeah, so 4 laps remaining of the F2 League, and it's been absolutely mad battles, mad overtakes, but with the last race itself, do you think there'll be a few more shocks, Dan, or do you think there'll be, do you think what we see is what we're going to get at this race? I know it's a tough ask, but I just want to hear your thoughts in the last 4 laps.
Well, Ryan really needs to get a good restart, and it's really difficult to not make a mistake in these conditions. And Keiran, obviously, with that penalty, that will definitely hamper him a lot, and that might let Speed Queen and Jack Hickey into the podium and demote him into even P5 or P6.
Absolutely. And we're gonna have to keep it like this now with the leaderboard of the times and also the penalties, because it's going to be quite interesting. We've got Hatari with 3 seconds, Luke Bailey with 6 seconds, Keza 12 seconds, John Palayan with 3 seconds, Hubberstone with 3 seconds, Mr. Stim with 12 seconds, Stefan with 3 seconds, and also Aqualan with 6 seconds for the penalties. And also the safety car is in this lap, guys. The safety car is in this lap, so now Ryan will have to try and keep the cars bunch if he can. But again, it's going to be interesting. So at the moment, Hatari will be out of the top 3. Depending on, it might drop down to 4th. 4.5. Yeah, it might drop down to 4th, depending on Nigel. It might be close to the leader itself. So, oh my God, there's been a slowdown. So now there's all the drivers are all pull away, but I wonder if the safety car was not going in as quickly as possible. And now Mr. Steve's got off. What was that, Dan?
John Palainen spun, I think, into turn 1, and yeah.
So John Palainen has dropped down the 14th place, so he'll be fuming not to get into the top 10 tonight. And it looks like Aqualan is now going to 9th. Still, the Hatari needs to try and pull this gap away now to stand any chance. So at the moment, 4 points. Oh, what's happened? What's happened to Aqualan? There's quite a few cars who are having to really go for it now. Nightshades is really trying to push away. It looks like Hubberstone now. It looks like Stefan has dropped down. Oh, Stefan has lost his front wing. So Stefan has lost his front wing. He will lose that massively. Mr. Steve's got 17 seconds worth of penalties. So not good for the Alvatari driver. Hopefully he'll try and bounce back as quickly as possible, but trying at that slipstream as much as possible. But look at this. The wet tyres has not been great. Not a great start at the moment. With Keza, could be dropping down to 16 12 seconds. Stefan has retired. And off track itself, so we won't get the safety car now. But Ryan doing an absolute stellar job to hold on for first. Huntari in second. Speed Queen in third. Jack Hickey could be on for another podium. But might lose out. But just all depends on if you can try and close the gap onto Speed Queen, who she's trying to pull away as much as possible. I know Kesler's just behind, but even if Kesler makes the move ahead, this will cost Jack Hickey. Could be costing Jack Hickey for another podium. But from your perspective, with we're on the penultimate lap, guys. We're on the penultimate lap. But what's been your overall of the race so far, Dan?
Well, the race has been great, and ever since the rain, the race has been just really exciting, just really unpredictable. But Huhtari might still finish on a podium. It's going to be really, really close between Keiran and Jack Hickey.
Yeah, absolutely. I forgot to mention, I do apologise. I know I said the Red Bull team, they need to try and get ahead of, well, Rimper's out. Rimper is out of the obviously of the race itself. What we forgot to mention as well, which we should have done, is the Red Bull could win the constructors, depending on where they finish. So we're going to have to try and get the standings ready just to be sure. By the looks of things, it will more than likely could be the Red Bull could win the constructors tonight. So that will be quite interesting. So that is really interesting stuff. So Speed Queen could be on to move to second place. Jack Hickey will be in the podium. Keza will drop down. Nigel could be on to move up to fifth place. But it all depends.
Yeah, this.
So, well, just depending on Nigel Shane's trying to get past Nigel Gash. Oh, this is going to be interesting stuff, but we're on the final lap, guys. We're on the final lap of the final race of this Season 12 of the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League. But Dan, who are you watching so far?
Well, I'm just watching Speed Queen because I just done the maths, and if she finishes P2, the Red Bull will have the Constructors' Championship, but she needs to stay within the 3 seconds of Huhtari. It's 5/10 right now. Huhtari needs to gain.
Yeah, absolutely.
8 tenths now.
Yeah, so yellow flag set to 1. That is Mr. Stim. Mr. Stim, and also, yeah, that was Mr. Stim. Mr. Stim has lost it just before the DRS straight. So he's being under with the wet tyres, which would be, it was a bold move, to be fair. Absolute bold move from his perspective. So just try and wait and see what happens now. So as long as Huntari try and hold on, that will be the most closest battle we've ever seen. So we're just watching Ryan now trying to pull away from Huntari. But also, what's happened? What's happened at the back of the grid? It looks like Nightshades. Oh my god, Nightshade's trying to hold on for Nightshade's dropped down to 9th. So, I'm just trying to see where Ryan is. Ryan is coming up to the final corner now to win the F2 race at the Singapore Grand Prix. Speed Queen finishes second. Jack Hickey will finish off in third. Huntari will miss out on the podium in fourth. Nigel Gash is finishing in fifth. Hubberstone will be the new record holder of the F2 League. We'll get some decent points tonight. We've got Nightshades drops down to 7th, but we'll get the classification in a moment or two. Yeah, it's been an absolute stellar race from all drivers tonight. We're just waiting for Mr. Stim to cross over the line now. We will get the classification coming in a moment or two. But from everyone's perspective, Dan, that was a great race.
Yeah, really, really extraordinary race. And a big way to finish the season.
Absolutely, and we're just waiting for the drivers to kick in. And well done to Ryan again for winning the Singapore Grand Prix. And also we've got Speed Queen and also Jack Hickey again for another podium. So he's had the hat trick of podiums tonight. What a drive from him! Absolutely what a drive. I'm just going to get the classifications just to be 100% sure. I don't want to make it mistaken at all. But the gap, as I said, was like 17 points between the Red Bulls and the AlphaTauris. But here we go. We will have. So we're just getting the classification now. So here are race classification for the Singapore Grand Prix. For the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League on the PlayStation platform, you got Ryan in first, Speed Queen in second, Jack Hickey in third, Hodari in fourth, Nigelgas fifth, Hubberstone sixth, Nightshade seventh, Keza 8th, Luke Bailey 9th, Aquilan 10th, Jumper Lion in 11th, Mr. Steen 12th, Mr. Stim 13th, Living Wall already been lapped in 14th, Stefan, Rimpa and Simon Palmer are the only drivers who had the DNFs during the race tonight. So while we're getting that classified, we will get it confirmed, guys, so don't go anywhere. We will get it classified just to be 100% sure. But yeah, guys, we will be back. We'll get Jack Hickey, Ryan, and also Speed Queen if they're available to join in with the podium stuff. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back for the podium questions. Don't go anywhere. You alright, guys? We are back for the interviews. We're going to do a quick interviews tonight because obviously we've been over an hour of the qualifying as well as the race itself because of the wet conditions as well. So I've got some interesting stuff actually that's going to be interesting, to be fair, because obviously we had some drivers that came from the F3 to drive tonight. Obviously they do not get recorded in the F2, so they do move up. So any position that they were in, they will move up. I will get the classification of the standings itself, but we'll have to go through interviews in a moment or two, and then I'll mention about it. But then obviously we'll have to get that decided sooner rather than later. So we've got, I believe, Jack Hickey and also Ryan. So we'll go with Jack Hickey first. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. How are you?
It's been a mad race, absolutely mad race to try and cover everything we can tonight. So, what's your thought? I mean, your thoughts of your race. I mean, at one point near the end, you looked like you was going to be outside of the top three. Did you feel like you had a great scenario with that race tonight?
Obviously, I'm happy to get the podium. I was sort of gunning for a little bit more. I think I maybe could have got speed queen before the last safety car, but to be honest, it was that treacherous I couldn't really do much about it. But I thought the start of the race was alright, my pace was good on the mediums. But when I pitted, I probably shouldn't have gone onto the hards. I didn't really know when the weather was going to come in. I was hoping it'd just drag on and drag on and drag on, but in the end it didn't. And to be honest, I probably got away one a little bit with that. Still managed to be in the top 5. And then, yeah, managed to get into P4. And then, yeah, the last couple of laps trying to get that 3-second gap down was a nightmare because it was up and down all the time. Didn't know if I was going to do it or not, so the last lap I just sent it as fast as I could and managed to just sneak in. So thankfully, another podium.
Absolutely, you did a stellar of a job. Absolutely stellar of a job, to be fair, and it was an absolute brilliant drive from yourself. But you've had your 3rd podium on the bounce, so you've had your hat trick. So that's, considering I know you've only just joined from round 10, but are we going to see more from your side point of view for next season at Invictus to get some more podiums?
Hopefully so. Obviously there'll be a big break now until the new game comes out, so we'll see what the pace is like. Who really knows? If I've got the pace, then yeah, why not? Let's go for it. Let's try and win. At least get in the top 3 in the championship, maybe more. But there's a lot of good drivers like the winner of this race who did an incredible job. This race, strategy-wise, was spot on and had the pace to see it out. So who knows? We'll see. But hopefully, if we go again, we'll have a season full of good races.
Absolutely, hopefully so. But I've been really impressed with your driving since you've joined Invictus. I know you've, like I said, with the 3 races itself. And I wish you all the very best of luck for next season, whatever happens. And absolute stellar of a drive tonight in this torrentious rain. I bet one more question actually. It's been absolute. I bet it was being really difficult for your point of view to try and get ahead into the top 3 tonight.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, if it was a dry race, I think it'd have been a lot more secure. I think the pace I had on the mediums was good. So if it had been a full dry race, I think I'd have been all right. But yeah, I had to fight for this one. I didn't have to fight too hard the last 2 races, apart from the spin, obviously, in Spain. But this one I had to proper fight for it. And yeah, I enjoyed it, but I'm also ready for bed.
Absolutely, I'm getting knackered now, so I won't keep you long. But well done for tonight. Brilliant job for getting 3rd. You did an absolute stellar job, and I wish you all the very best of luck for next season at Invictus. And looking forward to seeing you challenging for the wins as well as the podiums, as well as the races as well. So well done for tonight, mate. Well done, brilliant stuff. Ryan, how you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. again, you had another great start from what I saw from the start of the race. You had to get a good start, so it looked like you just kept your position. You try and keep your pace as well. So you did a brilliant job. So what was your thoughts trying to keep it composure in that rain conditions tonight?
Yeah, the composure was not only there in the rain, it was also there in the dry conditions, because had a great start, moving up to P1. I don't know what Stefan had. He had some wheel spin, I guess, because he was falling down the field. I'm not sure if he was falling down the field or he would sustain in P2. But yeah, consistency, that was my key to this race win, of course. Rimp, who was moving up the field on the mediums, was up to P2, was catching me 1 second behind, and I pitted on lap 6, I think, for mediums, catching up to Rimp again. He had problem with his tires when the rain was coming. Then the safety car came out. I switched to Inters. Yeah, just kept consistent, kept the composure, and yeah, just keep it on track. No penalties and stuff. Yeah, everything went my way, I guess.
Absolutely, and you did a stellar job from your perspective, Ryan. And as you said, you keep, from what I can remember from the standings itself, that's your first ever win in the F2 race. So I know if you only had your second podium of the season as well, because obviously you had one at I believe Britain, and then you had one at the win tonight. But do you feel, what do you need to do to try and aim for the top spot? Well, keep going at that top spot next season.
I think consistency, because I know that's one of my weakest spots in racing. I know I can be quick at some points, but be consistently quick, that's something more difficult in this game. I'm really trying to work on that as well, and yeah, let's hope next season. I obviously stepped in halfway through the season, hoping to do a better job than this next season, to maybe aim for the top 3 in the drivers' standings, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
Absolutely.
We can only wait and see.
Absolutely, we'll have to wait and see. But from your driving, that I've been really impressed that I've seen, not only for the F2 but also in the Performance League as well. But in your perspective, this is your first win, so hopefully this will be the catalyst of next season in the Invictus Racing League. So we're looking forward to that. So well done for tonight. Well done for a brilliant drive. Thanks. And I wish you all the very best of luck for next season, wherever happens. Speed Queen unfortunately cannot make it, but hopefully she'll be able to be in the podium tonight. Well, say tonight, but like next time in the season. But I've been told with the constructor standings, it's been absolutely close call, shall we say, because of Rimper being DNF'd. It made the Red Bull team a little bit trying to close the gap, but unfortunately we'll have to mention it on what's going to happen in the winner will be announced on social media based on we will need to count back the results to announce a winner, so we will announce the winner on social media based on the constructors. We'll get it confirmed, count back as well, but we'll just double check as well. So I don't want to announce it on the stream and get it completely wrong, so I don't want any hopes up. So that's what's going to happen. We will announce the winner of the constructors in social media. So check out Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for all the latest news of everything out there, and also check out InvictusRacingLeague.com for all the latest info and every update that you can get as well. So Dan, have you got any last thoughts before we stop the stream?
Well, I've got one question. Is do you guys think by the end of the race was there enough rain for the wet tires, full wet?
It was close. I don't think it quite got there, I would have said. I think the inters were just about fine. I don't know about you, Ryan, but I thought that was what it was. I thought it was just about inters and nothing else.
Yeah, I was in a party with my teammate, and we were discussing, like, we could even go on wets as well, because it was really wet. It was really raining really, really heavily. And I thought, yeah, wets would be, I think, the same pace, but later on it was getting drier and drier, and the wets would have gone off very quickly as well. So I think the inters were just good enough. It was certainly wet enough for full wets as well, but not later in the race, so inters were a good call, yeah.
Brilliant stuff there. So Dan, as I said, thank you to the drivers that have joined in. But Dan, your final thoughts of the race itself. What's your thoughts before we close off?
Well, it was just a brilliant race and super exciting, and just kept me at the edge of the seat the whole race.
Absolutely, and it was without doubt one hell of a race at the Singapore Grand Prix. So, if you like what you're seeing, please, for the final time, make sure you like, subscribe to the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel for all the live races itself. And again, another reminder, thank you to everyone at Invictus Racing League, the staff, the commentators, everyone that volunteered to help out in Invictus Racing League this season, at season 12. You've been absolutely amazing. Thank you for all your hard work, as always. Thank you to Gareth and Sab, who finished off the F1. I have watched it from race 1 to race 12, and it was without doubt a brilliant season overall. And I'd like to thank Nigel Gash at the start of the season, Craig, and also Mini Dan and Ryan as well. Did you do? No, I think it was just the Mini Dan. I do apologise if I missed anyone off, but thank you to those guys who have helped me out with the commentators box for F2. I'm going to sign off F2. Cheers for that, guys. I hope to see you all soon for next season at the Invictus Racing League. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.